Today we're going to unbag and take a look at Special Ops, the Wargaming Journal. This is from Multi-Man Publishing, or MMP, which this is kind of their house organ. It usually has a lot of scenarios for Advanced Squad Leader and or the Advanced Squad Leader starter kits, and also has a game in the magazine, or at least all the ones that I've picked up over time have had a game included, and this one includes the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. That is a mouthful of a title. Let's hope that it lives up to its name and gaming experience. But I picked this up at a MMP holiday sale, or their fall sale, or whatever you call it, or whatever they call it. There was several games that were on sale that I did not have from MMP, and I decided, well, why not? This one is relatively was a good price, and I picked it up mainly for the game included. I do not have, really don't have ASL. I started off with, back in the day, Squad Leader, and so I have, Squad Leader and the first two expansions, Cross of Iron and Crescendo of Doom, and that's kind of where I left off at Squad Leader. I was kind of on to other things by the time, like GI, Anvil of Victory, and some of the other stuff came out, and I didn't follow Squad Leader into its advanced Squad Leader stage, but later on, much later on, in fact, probably more recent than closer to today than closer to the time I got Squad Leader and used to play Squad Leader, I picked up Advanced Squad Leader Starter Kit number 1. And I'm still been eyeing the starter kits number 2 and number 3. This was basically an introduction to Advanced Squad Leader, but broken down into these kits. And this one here, teaches you the basics, and it is really just dealing with infantry combat. I think starter kit number 2 brings in artillery and some of those pieces, and then starter kit number 2 is artillery. Starter kit number 3, I think, brings in tanks and armored vehicles and stuff like that. As I said, I played Squad Leader, and I did not play ASL, but I remember looking at the book several times, the big old folder of all the different rule sets, and this looked like it was much easier to get into, and I liked the concept of these starter kits, but I haven't really played this as much. I played a little bit, but I have not played this as much. These all kind of qualify in what I call the small unit tactical games, which are platoon level on down, so platoon, squad, team, individual, and this is at the team level, at the squad level, and some fire teams and individuals, I guess, from the leader standpoint as well. However, I have picked up some of these special ops that have the advanced squad leader scenarios. However, since I only have the first starter kit, I really don't know how much viability some of these scenarios hold for me, or playability they have for me, given that I don't have all the starter kit stuff, and I don't have any of the ASL stuff. But I still have it anyway. If you're a big fan of ASL and you want to get these scenarios, let me know, and we'll try. We might try to do something. See, I think these come completely wrapped here. I don't see a tab, so let's just go get it open, get her done, and see what we have inside here. Do a little bit of a page through as well. It's been a while since I opened up one of these. I was collecting these, again, for some of the games that are included inside, and they feature some of their systems. I know there was an Ancients game on the SCS system, I think Raphia, which I thought was pretty cool. I liked that. There was another SCS system dealing with Eastern Front combat, which I think they've now come out with a deluxe version of that. But I have the Special Ops version, so you know, I like, you know, if you follow my channel, you know I like war game magazines. This is a war game journal. I don't really know what the difference is there, other than this is really more dedicated to MMP stuff. So let's look inside here and see what we have in this issue. Again, this is issue number 9 right there. It says right there. I don't have the date of when this was. Summer of 2019, so not that long ago, right? This is summer of 2019. Ah, the summer of 2019. We all have memories of that, don't we? We have some articles here. There's some ASL. There's the 2 ASL scenarios. There's a ASL Starter Kit Hedge Rules. That's kind of interesting to kind of explore the rules. ASL is all about niche rules. Here's ASL Starter Kit number 4. Wow. Okay, didn't know about that. ASL 4 Sequence of Play. ASL Scenario 7, S72 and S73. Again, I don't know. I have to look and see what you need, what components you need for that, since I only have the first starter kit. Front Toward Enemy is a Vietnam tactical game. So there's an article about that. Great Campaigns of the American Civil War. That's one of the series that MMP has picked up and continues to go with. And I've actually covered some of that and some of the unboxings on that. I don't have a lot of those. I have more of the great battles of the American Civil War, which is under GMT, and the great campaigns are under MMP. Cover some of those, and more operational and a very interesting system. So this is about Front Towards Enemy, that article. So if you want to explore this or find out a little bit about this game before you pick it up, here it is. There's not a ton of tactical Vietnam games or Vietnam tactical games, especially small unit tactical. I have a few of them. This was one that I've looked at a few times, but just never picked it up. I have the, oh God, what do I have? The 65, the Mark Walker, which is now being redone into the Afghanistan, Russia and Afghanistan is taking that same system. And the Lock and Load tactical one, which is Heroes of the Nam. Those are my two probably small unit tactical or squad level Vietnam games, but this is one I have looked at quite a bit. Looked at, but never picked up. Always a bridesmaid. Always a pallbearer. Okay, well, there's a lot on that. Here's the great campaigns of the American Civil War scenario chronology. Oh, this is going to be kind of interesting. So, of the great campaigns, what do I have there? Oh, I have some of the ones going back to Avalon Hill. So it's on another shelf, but I have ones going back, way back. So these are all the different scenarios. So I have a Stonewall. I think I have Stonewall Jackson's Way. And I think I just picked up Roads to Gettysburg. So I don't have, I think I have 2, possibly 3 in this series. So, but this is still an interesting chart. This is one of those things that for someone like me who can be somewhat of a completist, I'll start looking at this going, oh man, I gotta fill that out. Look at all this stuff I gotta fill out. So this is really kind of nice. I mean, if you're into the great campaigns of the American Civil War, that series, I mean, this is kind of neat. Kind of lays everything out. You get a complete itinerary of the war done through those games. All right, here's Starter Kit number 4. This is 2019, so I don't know if 4 is out. But now we're getting into the Pacific Theater. Interesting. hand-to-hand combat, bonsai. So some of the unique things that are to that theater or fighting Japanese forces, I think are going to play out. Plus the terrain is going to be different as well. I have to say it's been a while since I looked at my special ops, but the magazine's nice. It's a journal, right? But it feels like a magazine. It's kind of glossy paper, triple column. It's very clear. There's color in here. It's nice. Here's ASL Starter Kit 4 Sequence of Play. Okay. And now we get to ASL Advanced Squad Leader Scenario S72. I guess if I leave it on there long enough, you guys can make your own, take your own picture of it. There we go. Straightened out the camera a little bit there. Interesting scenario there. And then we've got ASL S73. Here are the rules for the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, War in Asia and the Pacific, 1939 and 1944. So this is the whole war. I think this is strategic level and might even get into, I don't know if it's going to get into like politics and economics, but we'll take a look at that. Here are all the bits and components for that. Let's just move those off to the side right now and then take a look at the rules. Now it's got a center staple, so I'll have to rip that out to get these rules out because I like to put these games in a separate folder, a see-through folder. So how many pages of rules? Looks like we have 8 pages of rules. That is not bad at all in that we've got, wow, you got some big graphics there too. So 8 pages of rules, I can live with that. And it's double column. So there some of the unit information. There's naval units, ground units, air units, and there's cards in here as well. Very nice. Who was the designer of this? I think this might have been picked up from a Japanese magazine. I don't know. MMP does from time to time pick up designs and games from other companies like the Gamers. That was a company, and they took over some of that. Squad Leader, Advanced Squad Leader was at Avalon Hill. Of course, they took over that. Let's see the designer. The rules look relatively straightforward, though. Here we go. Game design is Yasushi Nakaguro. I think I have I think I've covered some of his other games. So yeah, this was a Japanese designer here. So I think I'm going to look into this. This is the reason I picked this up. It's definitely strategic. There's a production phase here, so we're going to get into the economics of the like. Here's Declaration of War, because this starts in 39, so you can go back to the beginning there. There you have it. Not a lot of rules. This is something I might be able to get to the table relatively quickly. Here is ASL scenario, what is that? 017. So another ASL scenario that uses half a map board or partial of a map board. And Purple Heart Hill. Look at that there. And this right here, what is this here? Oh, this is that Hedge Rule. So here's the Hedge Rules for ASL Starter Kit Hedge examples right here. Interesting. Then we also talk about Starter Kit number 4 right there. Now we're getting into some just articles here. Conscripts, NRF, Treasure or Trash. So this is interesting. So this is a game article. Operational Combat Series, OCS. Smolensk, Barbarossa derailed. So here's talking about the introductory scenario for that. And this is interesting. They do this from time to time. This is like a breakdown of that scenario. So talking about the mission, the enemy, and then you've got some of the terrain. It's kind of a deep dive into the scenario. That's kind of interesting. All these notes over here. Relatively long article, too. I mean, it goes on for most of this game here, or most of this journal, I should say here. Here's the combat table. Okay. Wow, the rest of this. So this is, if you have Smolensk, Barbarossa derailed, this is definitely a journal you might want to pick up if you want to get into the deep dive into this. I don't have this game. Monty's Gamble Market Garden. Might have a teaser on that. That might be one of the games I picked up in the sale. Stay tuned to find out. And then a variable combat series. That's one thing I do like about MMP. They have series games, and I like series because I like understanding a set, kind of a set of rules, and then adding stuff to it depending upon the specific conflict or scenario. But because if you play a series quite a bit, then you get the rules. You kind of get them down, and you don't have to like relearn all the rules all the time. You just have to learn a few new rules for specific scenarios. So there you have it. That is Special Ops Wargaming Journal. Let's see what we had in the inserts here. And MMP gives you a kind of a packing list of sorts, telling you what should be in here. So there's one magazine, one map sheet, one player aid card, 24 sphere cards, and 50 1-inch counters. Okay, so 50 counters and 24 cards. So let's see, this is the player aid for the Prosperity Sphere. The Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. Golly, that's a mouthful. Here's setup. Here's your action list. And it's single-sided, so you can keep that on the board. And it's on player aid type of material. Here's the map. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Here are the cards, and the cards are going to be, looks like punch-out cards, the good old perfs. Look at that. They come out relatively easy there. Reminds me of old Avalon Hill days. So that's the back of the card. So this is the front of the cards. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 8 is 16, plus another 8 is 24. So the packing list is correct on that. Put that over here. This is a little spacer paper. And here are the counters. And my goodness, are those big counters. Good thickness. I mean, this is MMP. And those are huge counters. Look at that. That is amazing. Now, nothing's named here, so I guess they're using kind of generic units for the ships and the land units and the air units, because maybe these represent, this is strategic, so maybe these represent task force, but there's nothing named there. And they are double-sided, though. Got some Marines there. Got some oil right there. So, like the counters, I mean, very, very large and crisp and clean there. So let's look at that map and see what we have in the map arena. And it's point-to-point, which is not uncommon for a strategic level game. I might have to do an exploration of all my strategic level Pacific Theater games, because I have starting to collect. I used to not have very many of those, and now I've got too many to play. But isn't that always our problem as gamers? There we go. So you have an allied unit pool here. You've got an allied retreated units. We have the locations here. Here's Samoa, Pearl Harbor, Midway, Marianas Islands, Philippines. Okay, we've got Australia down here. And then Philippines. Yeah, just one box for Philippines. Okay. Then we get into China and then into Japan here. We have a turn track, so 39 to 44. Production track. So this might be how you have to build some of this stuff. So like maybe CV start here, then they move here, and then they move here to maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'm making up rules. Here's a Japanese unit pool and the Japanese retreated units. And then there's an RP here for probably the Japanese, I would assume. And there you have it. So interesting looking game. It's kind of clean. If any of you have played this, love to hear your thoughts on it. How does it play? What do you think about it? As I said, I picked this up mainly for the for this game, but I might try some of the scenarios if I have enough of the components for it. But there you have it. I'll have to pull the rules out. But that is what you get in the magazine. Sorry, I keep on saying magazine. Journal, the Special Ops, the Wargaming Journal, issue number 9 from MMP. If you want to talk about any of the stuff in this journal, there's a huge article on Smolensk, or any of the scenarios, or kind of the introduction maybe to Starter Kit number 4, or this game, feel free. Drop them in the comments down below. This week might be shaping up to be a small unit tactical week. World War II small unit tactical. We'll see how the content goes, but I think I've got at least maybe 3, maybe. Anyway, thanks all. Take care, and thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching.